You've been working hard, following the principles of the law of attraction, and consuming every bit of content that promises prosperity, yet somehow, money slips right through your fingers. The problem isn't about how much you want it, but rather a subtle misalignment between what you desire and the internal frequency you emit when no one is watching. It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. Your engine, desire, roars, but the car, your financial reality, refuses to move forward. Napoleon Hill would call this a lack of purpose alignment, where goals live in your conscious mind, yet your subconscious holds on to deep-rooted beliefs of scarcity. The outcome? Scattershot actions, anxiety over quick results, and a vibration of urgency that signals to the universe, I am in lack. Neuroscience describes this internal noise as hyperactivation of the salience network, an alertness to threat, triggering cortisol, which makes your system an antenna tuned to what you fear, not what you cultivate. Prosperity isn't about a stroke of luck. It's about coherence, aligning intention, emotion, and action. Today we will uncover the hidden mistake blocking your financial flow and replace it with a coherence mechanism. Simple, measurable rituals that reprogram your perception and calm your nervous system so that money stops being a predator and starts being the welcomed guest. Hill's analogies like definiteness of purpose as a compass, mastermind as a social field that amplifies frequency, and auto-suggestion as daily reprogramming are brought to life today through emotional metrics, heart coherence rituals, somatic intention writing, and subtle signs of misalignment, guilt when receiving compulsive urgency. Consider this video a laboratory. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to release the handbrake, align vibration with action, and open the practical channel for prosperity to flow. Many people make the mistake of confusing desire with emotional urgency. While desire, in its purest form, is the driving force behind intention, urgency comes from fear, a fear of not having, a fear of scarcity. When your nervous system is overstimulated, each financial goal becomes a fire to put out, rather than a value to create. The body then learns to associate money with relief from tension, rather than with value creation. This creates a conditioned loop, thinking of money, cortisol spike, vibration of threat. At its core, this behavior is a learned pattern that has become so ingrained in our daily lives that we often don't even realize it's happening. For example, you may visualize abundance, but the moment you check your bank account or compare yourself to others, your body experiences the rush of anxiety. You begin to measure your worth by external financial markers. The need for approval, the validation that comes from a bank statement or a paycheck, becomes the measure of your self-esteem. This anxiety doesn't just sit within you, it radiates outward. This internal noise sends the message to your reality, I'm in lack. And the universe in turn responds to this message. It's not magic, it's simply the law of vibration. The more you amplify the urgency and the internal noise, the more you attract situations that validate this feeling of scarcity. It's like being in a constant state of search for relief. Relief from financial stress, relief from the pressure of needing to get things done right now. However, urgency does not lead to creation, it leads to a cycle of survival. When you're in survival mode, there's no room to grow, no space to manifest what you truly desire. Think about it for a moment. When you operate from a place of urgency, there is always a sense of immediacy attached to your actions. You feel compelled to hurry, to get results, to make more money, to manifest your desires faster. This creates a sense of never being satisfied with what you've achieved, because there's always something to do, something to get, something to fix. In this state, the brain is in fight or flight, and it's hard to access the higher-level thinking required for creative breakthroughs. So let's shift gears here. What if you could recalibrate that urgency into something different? What if you could transform that feeling of lack into a coherent state of being, where your actions and energy align? This is the shift from urgency to empowerment, from survival mode to creative flow. The first step in this process is to recognize the pain of urgency. When you feel anxious, when you feel that internal pressure to act quickly, ask yourself, is this urgency a form of creation or just an attempt to survive? The answer will be clear. Survival is about fixing. Creation is about building. Prosperity can't thrive in a state of emergency. It can only flourish when you are grounded and aligned with your true purpose. To help facilitate this shift, Start by practicing mindfulness and emotional coherence. Instead of spiraling into a cycle of urgency, try to pause. Breathe deeply. Center yourself. Let the anxiety pass without feeding it, without giving it power over you. By doing so, you break the cycle. You give yourself permission to be present, to engage with your financial reality, not from a place of scarcity, but from a place of creative possibility. Let's take a more practical example of how urgency can block abundance. Imagine you're working on an important project, one that's crucial to your financial success. The moment you think about it, you feel a rush of panic. You start rushing through the tasks, cutting corners, trying to finish as quickly as possible. This pressure creates stress, and stress disrupts the creative energy necessary for the project's success. The result? You end up with subpar work and likely poor outcomes. Now, picture this. You slow down. You focus on one step at a time, trusting that each action you take is valuable and aligned with your greater purpose. This subtle shift in perspective allows you to work more efficiently, with more clarity, and ultimately with greater results. The urgency fades as you focus on the value you are creating, and in turn, your energy shifts to a place of confidence and trust. This change doesn't happen overnight, of course. It requires intentional practice. You need to train yourself to recognize the difference between urgency and value creation. Start by paying attention to your internal signals. When you feel urgency creeping in, pause and take a few moments to breathe deeply. During this time, ask yourself, what value am I creating in this moment? This will help shift your focus away from the stress of the situation and onto the impact of your work. When you connect your actions to the deeper purpose of your work, you align yourself with abundance, and the feeling of urgency dissipates. Remember, urgency comes from fear. When we operate in fear, we struggle. But when we operate from a place of trust and alignment, the universe responds. Prosperity isn't about the hurry. It's about knowing that what you're doing is in alignment with your highest good and trusting that everything you need will show up at the right time. In closing, it's essential to recognize that the vibration of urgency is not a tool for creation. It's a barrier to prosperity. When you shift from urgency to a calm, focused state, you begin to attract not only more opportunities, but also the right opportunities. The key is to align your actions with your higher purpose and trust the process. Prosperity is not a race. It's a journey that unfolds at the pace of your energy, your clarity, and your ability to co-create with the universe. In the world of manifestation and financial growth, we often hear about the need to vibrate abundance or align your energy for prosperity, but rarely do we hear about the physiological foundation of this concept. Financial coherence is more than just an abstract idea. It's a tangible state that can be felt and cultivated within your body and mind. When there is heart-brain coherence, the body reduces sympathetic noise, the fight or flight response, increases heart rate variability, which boosts resilience, and opens up executive attention, which is necessary for making high-value decisions. In simple terms, coherence happens when your body is in a relaxed, balanced state, and this state becomes the fertile ground for prosperity to grow. When your body is calm, your subconscious mind can work with you to manifest abundance rather than against you. Many people believe that manifesting abundance is a magical event, a stroke of luck, or a breakthrough moment. However, prosperity is a state of being, one that requires constant neuro-emotional hygiene. It's the daily practice of being in a state of balance where receiving, asking for, pricing, and investing does not trigger feelings of shame or panic. This is a daily reprogramming of how we perceive money and its role in our lives. To cultivate financial coherence, you first need to understand what happens when the body is out of alignment. For most people, money is often associated with stress, fear, or insecurity. When someone thinks about their finances, their body may tense up, their heart rate may spike, and a feeling of anxiety may settle in. These physical responses signal that the nervous system perceives money as a threat, which in turn blocks the natural flow of financial abundance. For many of us, the negative emotional memory of money is rooted in childhood experiences or past hardships. If you were raised in a family where money was scarce or discussed with shame or fear, you may have developed subconscious beliefs that money is bad or unavailable. These deep-seated beliefs cause your body to reject the very thing it needs most, financial abundance. Financial coherence works to reprogram this emotional memory. The key to unlocking this flow of abundance is exposure to safe, small financial experiences. The more you expose your nervous system to situations where money is exchanged without stress, the more it learns to associate money with comfort instead of anxiety. For example, a simple practice of receiving money with a relaxed body, acknowledging the value you've given, and accepting it without shame can help retrain your nervous system. The concept of exposure is crucial here. Just like therapies for anxiety, where you gradually expose the individual to their fears in small, manageable doses, prosperity requires a similar approach. Financial exposure means having daily positive interactions with money, whether it's receiving a small payment, investing in something meaningful, or simply pricing your product or service without guilt. These small, repeated experiences recalibrate the nervous system to view money as a safe and abundant resource. Let's break it down into simple steps. Imagine you are creating a product or offering a service. You've done the work, you've put value into the world, and now it's time to set your price. The first time you do this, you might feel a sense of resistance or even guilt. This resistance is simply your nervous system reacting to the historical emotional memory of scarcity. But if you reframe the situation as an opportunity to practice financial coherence, your body will start to respond differently. You might feel the anxiety or guilt, but instead of spiraling into it, you pause, breathe, and remind yourself that this exchange is a reflection of the value you are offering to others. Over time, as you practice this approach, your nervous system will begin to adjust. What was once a trigger for anxiety will eventually become a neutral or even positive experience. The coherence you cultivate will expand into your larger financial decisions. Whether it's negotiating a contract, making an investment, or simply looking at your bank account with a sense of trust instead of fear. To understand the depth of financial coherence, it's important to recognize how your body reacts when you're out of alignment with your financial energy. This misalignment manifests in physical tension, which could show up as tightness in your shoulders, a racing heartbeat, or even a feeling of heaviness in your chest. These signals are your body's way of telling you that your emotional state doesn't match the abundance you desire. Financial coherence teaches you how to release these tensions through simple daily rituals. One of the most effective rituals for achieving this emotional coherence is the practice of somatic intention writing. This involves writing down your financial goals or intentions while consciously feeling your body relax as you do so. The act of writing creates an anchor in your nervous system, and the feelings of calm and clarity help you align your emotions with your desires. When your emotions and thoughts are in alignment, you create a powerful vibration of abundance that sends the right signals to the universe. At its core, financial coherence is about creating small, safe wins with money. Each time you make a financial decision without anxiety or stress, you are strengthening the positive neural pathways in your brain that support abundance. Over time, these small wins accumulate, and you find that you are no longer triggered by the idea of money. Instead, you feel empowered and aligned, and money flows freely into your life. The truth is that prosperity is not a far-off destination, but rather a state of being that you create in the present moment. By practicing financial coherence, you begin to dissolve the inner barriers that have been blocking your flow. Money stops being a source of fear, and instead, it becomes a natural extension of your value and contribution to the world. As you continue on this journey, remember that the goal isn't to force abundance into your life, but to align with it. Prosperity doesn't come from stress or urgency. It comes from being in a state of inner peace, clarity, and trust. The more you practice financial coherence, the more you will see the tangible results of your alignment. You won't have to chase money. It will simply find its way to you. In conclusion, financial coherence is the foundation upon which your prosperity is built. It's not just about visualizing or hoping for abundance. It's about creating the emotional, physiological, and mental conditions that allow it to flow freely into your life. It requires practice, patience, and consistency, but when you start cultivating this state, you'll find that the universe aligns with you in ways you never imagined. The more coherent you are with your finances, the more naturally prosperity will flow. In the world of manifestation, many people become obsessed with the idea of signs from the universe. It seems harmless enough, right? Searching for subtle cues, signs, and symbols that suggest we are on the right path. whether it's finding a feather on the ground, hearing a particular song on the radio, or experiencing a coincidence that feels like fate. While there is nothing inherently wrong with these signs, they can quickly become a distraction, leading us away from the deeper work of taking responsibility for our own actions and decisions. At first glance, chasing these signs may feel like an important spiritual practice. We may justify it by saying, "I'm waiting for the universe to show me the way," or "I'm just trying to align with my higher self." However, the real risk here is that we might be using the search for signs as a way to avoid discomfort or the responsibility of making concrete decisions in our lives. Instead of trusting our inner guidance or taking action towards our goals, we become trapped in a loop of waiting for external confirmation, which delays our progress. In reality, the most important signs you can follow are the ones that come from within, your own intuition, your values, and your vision. When you are aligned with your true purpose, the universe responds naturally, but waiting for external signs often becomes an escape route. The truth is that the universe has already provided you with everything you need to make decisions and take action through your intuition, inner wisdom, and your connection to your own desires. Think of it like this: you wouldn't rely on a map to guide you through a city if you were standing at the entrance to a restaurant you've wanted to try for years. Instead, you would enter the restaurant without looking around for another sign to confirm you're in the right place. Acting in alignment with your goals and desires is just like that. There is no need to wait for constant validation from the outside world when you can rely on your own clarity and sense of purpose to lead the way. This approach of waiting for signs often leads us into a state of indecision. We start questioning every little detail. Is this the right time? Is this the right decision? Should I go in this direction or wait for a sign? The result? Inaction. You may find yourself constantly questioning and second-guessing yourself, and as a result, you end up paralyzed. The longer you wait for signs, the further away your goals get. This is where we must shift our focus. Rather than waiting for external signs to give us the courage to move forward, we need to focus on internal clarity and consistent action. The universe will always send you the right opportunities, but it's up to you to recognize them and take the necessary steps. It's not about seeking constant confirmation, but about aligning with the flow of your own intuition and taking small, deliberate actions that lead to big results. A great analogy to illustrate this is the garden and the fence. Imagine your life as a garden. Your goals, desires, and aspirations are the plants you want to grow. The fence around your garden isn't an obstacle, it's protection. It keeps unwanted distractions out so your plants can thrive. The fence represents the boundaries you set for yourself and your life, clear decisions, limits, and commitments that protect your focus. The garden is your purpose, and the fence is your intentionality. When you constantly chase signs, you're essentially letting randomness and outside forces dictate the direction of your life. You are opening the gates of your garden and letting in all sorts of distractions, people, situations, and events that don't serve your purpose. But when you focus on your inner guidance and start acting decisively, you are building that fence around your garden and protecting the very energy that allows your dreams to grow. This leads us to another key concept: clarity. To act with confidence and purpose, you need to know what you want. Your internal clarity becomes the compass that guides your decisions. When your purpose is clear, the universe naturally provides opportunities, but they come in the form of choices. It's up to you to decide which choices to make, not wait for signs to point you in the right direction. The power of clarity is that it helps you identify the right opportunities when they appear, without the need for external validation. This is where the idea of consistency comes into play. By consistently making decisions, setting clear intentions, and following through on your actions, you are aligning yourself with the flow of the universe. The more you act with certainty, the more the universe aligns with you. The clarity and consistency of your actions are the true signs that the universe is guiding you, not random occurrences or fleeting moments of coincidence. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Does this mean that signs are never useful? Absolutely not. Signs can be a beautiful confirmation of your alignment. However, they should not be the reason you take action. When you're living in alignment with your true desires, signs will naturally follow. They'll serve as validation, not the cause of your actions. The true secret is that when you take responsibility for your life, decisions, and goals, The universe starts working with you, not the other way around. In conclusion, while seeking signs can feel reassuring, it often disguises our avoidance of personal responsibility. We must remember that our true guidance lies within. The more we trust our own intuition, the clearer our path becomes. The universe isn't here to hand us a detailed roadmap. It's here to support us when we're actively walking our own path. The real power comes when we take decisive action based on internal clarity, not external signs. When we stop waiting and start moving forward, everything we need will fall into place and the signs will appear when we need them, not when we're waiting for them. When it comes to prosperity, the path to true abundance doesn't happen overnight. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or for some external force to intervene. Instead, it's about taking consistent, aligned actions. One of the most powerful ways to shift from a state of urgency to a state of empowered coherence is to create daily rituals that reprogram your body and mind so that you no longer react from fear or scarcity, but act from clarity and confidence. In the same way that you train a muscle, you can train your nervous system to shift from an anxious, reactive state to one of calm focus. By implementing a daily 15-minute protocol, you'll begin to rewire your body's response to financial situations and your relationship with money. These small, simple steps are designed to guide you out of the emotional chaos of urgency and into a place of peaceful presence and clear action. Step 1. 4 to 6. Breathing, 3 minutes. The first step in this protocol is to calm your nervous system and activate your parasympathetic response. The breathing exercise, called 4 to 6 breathing, is a powerful tool for relaxing the body and mind. It's simple, but incredibly effective in reducing the sympathetic activation that triggers stress. To begin, take a deep breath in for a count of 4, then slowly exhale for a count of 6. The key here is to focus on the exhalation, which signals to your body that you are safe and that you can release the tension. When you do this for just 3 minutes, your heart rate will slow down, your nervous system will calm, and your ability to focus will sharpen. This creates the perfect foundation for your day, especially if you're about to make any financial decisions or work on any money-related tasks. This simple act of breathing helps to bring your mind into a place of calm clarity, which is essential for prosperity. When your body is relaxed, your brain can access higher-level thinking, which includes creativity, problem-solving, and the ability to take decisive actions. It's important to note that when you are in a state of urgency, your body is in fight or flight, which shuts down your ability to think clearly. The 4 to 6 breathing exercise helps break this cycle and create space for you to act from empowerment rather than fear. Step 2. Value letter, 5 minutes. The second step is to shift your focus from fear to value creation. When you focus on the value you bring to others, your brain starts to associate money with value exchange rather than scarcity or stress. To do this, write a value letter. In the letter, take a few minutes to jot down 3 specific ways in which your work, your product, or your service adds value to others. This can be anything, whether it's saving someone time, improving their quality of life, or helping them achieve a goal. Be specific about the results your work creates in the lives of others. This practice will help you see money as a reflection of your impact, rather than something you have to chase or fight for. When you recognize the value you provide, it becomes easier to set appropriate prices, ask for what you're worth, and accept money without guilt or hesitation. Money is simply a tool that flows in exchange for value. The more clearly you understand the value you offer, the easier it becomes to attract that value back to you. Step 3. Somatic intention. 4 minutes. The third step is a somatic practice designed to check in with your body and assess whether your goals are truly in alignment with your inner state. The somatic intention practice helps you identify whether the energy behind your financial goals is coming from a place of peaceful alignment or urgent fear. To do this, find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. With your eyes slightly open, think about your financial goal for the day. Whether it's making a sale, completing a task, or simply being more present in your financial decisions. As you hold this intention in your mind, tune in to your body. Notice any physical sensations, tension in your shoulders, tightness in your chest, a clenched jaw. If your body feels tense or uncomfortable, That's a sign that your goal is being driven by urgency or fear. Next, allow your body to relax just a little bit more. Shift your intention so that it feels peaceful. Imagine yourself achieving this goal with calmness, ease, and confidence. Feel your body relax further, allowing your energy to align with the clarity of your intention. When your body feels lighter, your intention is aligned with abundance. If there is still resistance, gently adjust your goal until your body feels more at ease. This practice helps you identify subtle emotional blocks that could be preventing your prosperity from flowing. Step 4. High leverage action. 3 minutes. The final step in the protocol is to take high leverage action. This is the step where you shift from intention to tangible results. The key here is to choose one small but meaningful action that moves the needle forward in your financial or professional life. This could be sending an email to a potential client, following up with a colleague, or simply reviewing your finances. The action should be something that has the potential to create big results from a small effort. The idea is to choose an action that feels empowered, not rushed. This action should come from a place of clarity, not urgency. The focus is on quality over quantity. It's not about doing everything at once or trying to achieve instant results. Instead, it's about taking one aligned step that moves you closer to your financial goals. By choosing this high-leverage action, you are signaling to your nervous system that success comes from consistent effort and empowered decision-making, not from frantic urgency. By consistently practicing this 15-minute daily protocol, you are teaching your body and mind to move from a state of urgency to one of calm focus and alignment. The protocol works because it helps reprogram the emotional and physiological responses that block financial flow. It trains your nervous system to see money not as a threat or an emergency, but as a natural result of the value you offer to the world. As you continue practicing this protocol, you will find that your sense of urgency diminishes and your ability to make empowered decisions increases. You will approach financial opportunities with more clarity, and the fear that once governed your relationship with money will slowly begin to fade. Prosperity is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural, effortless flow of energy. The 15-minute protocol is not about achieving immediate results. It's about creating a new, empowered relationship with money that will bring long-term, sustainable success. The more you practice these rituals, the more you will open yourself up to the abundance that is always available to you. As we've explored today, prosperity is not something that comes from force or urgency. It is born from alignment of your energy, your thoughts, and your actions. The key to unlocking your financial flow lies not in hoping for a miracle, but in daily practices that bring you into coherence with your goals, your values, and your deepest desires. By understanding and applying these principles, you are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. Instead, you are the creator of your reality. The 15-minute protocol is more than just a tool, it's a gateway to a new way of being. It teaches you to align with your purpose and to trust the natural flow of abundance that is always available to you. Money is not a problem to be solved or a chase to be won. It is a reflection of your value and the energy you put into the world. As you implement these practices into your daily routine, you'll begin to notice a shift that moves you from scarcity to abundance, from urgency to calm confidence, and from fear to empowerment. Now the real question is, are you ready to release the handbrake on your prosperity and step into the flow of abundance? If this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a transformative insight. Take a moment to reflect. What will it feel like when your financial flow is free from blocks and aligned with your deepest desires? Stay with us as we dive even deeper into how you can create lasting prosperity in the next part of this journey. Continue watching now